a pen and a paper with you because it's going to be interactive. Now, whilst I ask you some questions, I would like you to write down the answers and as much as possible, provide the answers for me. So this is what we are going to be doing. Let's go ahead. So right now, we are going to take a look at a summary of what we did over the past few weeks. I am going to put them together so that you see them one after the other. And much more importantly, I want you to take note of it because what we are about to learn for today will, as it were, be the apex of the summary passage. And also, I would need you to follow exactly what we are going to do today. Yesterday, I gave you a link, and this link was to help you answer some summary passage. I am sure that almost all of you here have gone through the question, and you have seen the passage, and you have answered it. As at this morning at 11:30, only 3 people have answered the questions, and I've seen them. So if you haven't done so, I would urge you to, after this lesson, go back to it and try to answer it and submit it. If you have done so, then congratulations, because everything we are going to do now would help you to better understand the summary passage, because the answers you provide, I'm going to provide my own too. So I would bring yours here because there weren't names. I didn't require for names. What it means is that I will only take your answers, broadcast it here for everybody to see. After we have done that, then I'll compare it with mine. You will see it. And whatever problems you have, I'm sure by the end I finish the explanation, you would understand everything, all the mistakes you have committed. And going forward, you will correct it. And after this lesson, I'll give you another assignment. I expect you to answer the assignment. One problem we are facing with students is not answering assignment. You see, assignment is a way of evaluation, okay? It's a way of assessment. For me to assess you whether you have understood the lesson or not. Please, this is not a school. I will not be able to force you to do it. But when you do it and you submit it, I will take my time and go through the answers and correct you and mark it and then submit the score and the answers to you. So I entreat you all to do so when I finish with this session and I give you the link to the assignment. Thank you very much. Now, let's move ahead. You would remember that all the things we have done in the past few weeks is based on these 2 things I'm going to talk about. They are fundamental qualities for effective summary writing. And there are 2 of them, and the 2 of them are very key to whatever answer you provide. So therefore, we are going to be going through them right now. Number 1 is called sincerity. Now, you must try as much as possible to be sincere in your answer. And I will explain to you what sincerity means in your answer. I'm going to give you details of what sincerity means when you are providing your answer. Number 2, simplicity. This one too, we have looked at it. We said your answer must be brief, must be short, must be straight to the point. Your answer must be in a simple sentence form. And those of you who answered the question, who answered the link I gave you, the questions I gave you for you to answer, the summary passage earlier on, your answers, some of them were not in simple sentence. Okay, the answers must be simple sentence and one for each. When you are asked to write the answers, one for each, please take note and number it. You can use A, you can use I or II, you can use 1, 2, 3. Okay, answer it clearly. And your answers must be in a simple sentence form. Right? Now let's go ahead and look at the meaning of the following. What does sincerity mean? Sincerity in your answer. Sincerity in your answer simply means that the candidate, it means you. You have to be yourself. Avoid verbosity. And in the past, we have looked at what verbosity means. The use of words, the use of affectation, use of illustration, adjectives, adverbs, numbers, statistical figures, and many more. You must avoid using them. In other words, you, the candidate, you should not try to be impressive or extravagant. Don't try to say you want to impress the examiner. The examiner doesn't need your impression. It's a summary you are asked to write. So provide your answer in a summarized version and go your way. Don't try to be extravagant in the use of words. Don't try using big words. No, that is not part of what we call simplicity. Again, try to avoid repeating stock vocabulary or phrases. Yes, one of the things I said you must have when you are dealing with summary is vocabulary. Yes, sometimes you need to, as it were, replace a whole phrase or a whole clause with one word. So vocabulary is very important. But the fact that you would use them anyhow is not advisable and it's not permitted in summary writing. I hope this one is clear. Let's move on to the second one. Number 2, to be simple in your answer. What does it mean to be simple in your answer? The candidate should try and be brief and clear. Okay? To be simple, the candidate should try to be brief and clear. A, let's look at what briefness means. To be brief and simple, as the meaning allows, it prefers short words to long words. Have you seen it? So to be simple and to be brief and clear, we want you to use short words for long words. We want you to use single words for elaborative phrases. There are some phrases that are elaborative. They are only talking more about something. We want you to use only one word for it. And I'm going to be giving you examples for you to see, for you to have clarity in how you can go about writing your answer in a simple way. Let's go on to the next one. B, you must prefer words that are precise. It means straight to the point, to vague. You remember that last week we were looking at vague answers which are not clear. Okay, your answers must be straight to the point. They must be precise. they must not be generalized. Okay? And therefore, you must use concrete answers and avoid the use of abstract words. Okay? Good. Now let's move on to the next one. C, you must prefer familiar words to far-fetched unfamiliar words. You must try and use words that are simple and familiar to everybody that you know. Familiar to students, familiar to the examiner. Now, familiar words will be misunderstood. Okay? Familiar words will be understood by a family of the examiners. If you use unfamiliar words, sorry, there's a typo here. I meant to say that unfamiliar words will be misunderstood by the family of the examiners. So, for example, when you are asked to answer a question, most of the questions in the marking scheme will give sample, okay? Will give a range of words that can fall within that your answer can fall within. If you go and use a far-fetched word which is not familiar, the examiner will not score you. Sometimes, although you must be scored, but you must get a half mark. And all at the end of the day will affect your grade. So please take note of the following and keep them and take note of them when you are answering your summary passages. Now we are going to look at what do we mean by brief and simple. What do we mean by you to be brief and simple? Please be ready with your answer, be ready with your pens and papers. I'm going to give you a sentence right now, and I'm going to ask you to summarize it. And when I give you the go ahead, I want you to unmute yourself and give me the answer. So that at the end of our interaction, I'll also give you my answer so that you can compare and see whether what you have given me is correct or not, or you would improve upon it. So what do we mean by you being simple and brief? Please be ready with your pens and jotters to write this down. This is the sentence I need you to write down. I need you to write this sentence down, and I'm going to read it aloud. Inaccuracies were in many cases due to cramped method of writing. Inaccuracies were in many cases due to cramped method of writing. The question is, how do you rewrite this? How would you write it in a summarized version? That is the question I'm asking you. So at this juncture, I hope you have written down the sentence, because as at now, you should be giving me your answers. So I'll pause with the slides and I'll take your answers. Inaccuracies were in many cases due to cramped method of writing. So be mindful that your answer must be in a simple sentence form. Okay? Your answers must be in a simple sentence form. So I'm seeing a lot of participants here today. I'm seeing Bankole Basira, Danela Samoa, Florence Akosia, Jefta Ampofo. You have been here for a while. Thank you for coming. Kelvin Amusa, you two have been very constant. I have Mawunya, I have Makakwachi, and I have Sandra Jeche Obenewa. I can see. So, Sandra Jechewa Ohinewa is asking me, how do you rewrite this? Yes, that's the question I'm asking you. So you tell me the answer. Inaccuracies were in many cases due to crammed methods of writing. Yes. Is anyone ready with the answer?
Sir.
Yes. Go ahead, Jefta.
Cramped methods of writing are the causes of inaccuracies in many cases.
Okay, so crammed methods of writing are what?
Causes of inaccuracies.
Okay, thank you for your answer. Thank you. I'm very glad about your answer. Yes, next person, Florence. Florence, I'm ready. I want to take your answer, Florence. Yes, Florence. Sandra.
Sir, for me, I don't get the question. No.
I'm saying that, how do you summarize the sentence? How do you summarize it? Okay, so don't worry. I would go back to the slide and I'll show you exactly what I mean by how do you summarize it. But before that, is there anyone who is ready with an answer? Kelvin. Yes, Kevin Amusa. Maunya. Yes, Maunya.
Please, I just joined, so I want to try.
You are what?
I want to try.
Please go ahead. I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
Inaccuracy is caused by cramped methods of writing.
Okay. That's fine. Your answer is good. That's fine. Thank you very much. Thank you. Michael Kwache, Michael. Please try and give me an answer, please. I need your answer. Don't worry, all answers are correct here. Don't be shy. Yes, Michael Kwache. Okay, I think he's not ready. So I'm going to go back to the slides. And then I need you to.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Mistakes are causes of crime methods of writing.
Fantastic. So I'm going to ask you a question right now. When we say crammed methods of writing, is there any way you can use one word for that? The phrase crammed methods of writing, is there a way you can use one word to replace crammed method of writing? Is there anyone who will try and give me one word to replace crammed method of writing? In any way, before you come to that, please tell me the meaning of crammed method of writing. What does it mean? When we say something is crammed handwriting, what does it mean? Crammed. Yes, Florence. What does crammed mean? Crammed handwriting. Crammed method of writing. What does it mean? Crammed. Kelvin, will you try?
Sir,
Yes, Kelvin.
maybe not enough space.
Again?
Not enough space.
Okay, so that's fine. Not enough space. Okay, you let me get another answer, then we'll compare that with yours. Jefta, please try and give me an answer. Jefta. Yes, Jefta. Crammed method of, because this one, your understanding of the phrases used in the sentence is going to help you to summarize it. So you see, I'm trying to lead you to summarizing the sentence. Sandra, I can see that your microphone is unmuted. Maybe you want to try.
Cram method of handwriting, I would say, is some handwriting that is not spaced out, is together.
So can you use one word to replace what you have just explained? Can you use one word to explain what you have just explained? So instead of saying your handwriting is crammed, can you use one word to replace crammed?
No, I don't have any idea of that.
Okay, don't worry. So I will help you. I will help you to get an idea about that. I will help you. Jefta.
Sir, can you say misarranged methods of writing?
Okay, I need one word, but you are also giving me a phrase. Okay.
Okay.
I was talking about one word. So you see, in summary writing, sometimes you must replace a whole phrase with one word. And that is what I'm trying to draw attention to right now. Okay. So everything you have said, you are trying your best. But let's go back to the slide. Okay. Before we go back to the slide, let me tell you the meaning of crammed. Crammed means illegible. 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 When we say someone has illegible handwriting, it means his handwriting is not clear. There's no clarity. The way he writes, the spaces are not good. He combines big and small letters. Okay? So therefore, that is the meaning of crammed. Crammed. Now let's go back to the slide and then look at the proposed answer, okay, to the question I've asked you. I like your answers. Thank you very much for cooperating with me. Now, let me go back to sharing my screen with you.
Sir.
Let me go back to sharing my screen with you. Yes, go ahead.
Sir, can you say writing too close causes mistakes?
Writing too close.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. You can as well say that. That's fine. That is a summarized version of what you have said. And in fact, you are not using the same words they have used in the sentence. So now look at my answer. I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm going to be sharing my screen with you in a jiffy. Let me go back to the exact thing I was talking about. Okay. So we mentioned sincerity and all those stuff earlier on. Now let's look at this. How do you rewrite this? Answer. Look at my answer. Inaccuracies were often due to illegible handwriting. That was why I was telling you that what one word can you use to replace crammed method of writing? So crammed method of writing is bad handwriting. Okay, it's bad handwriting. So you could have said inaccuracies were often due to bad writing or unclear writing or unclear or illegible. Okay, all these words are one word you can use to replace a phrase. Okay, that's fine. Now let's move on to the next one quickly. Please write this sentence down. I need you to rephrase this and summarize it for me, just like what we did earlier on. Look at the second part of the sentence. It says that the matter is receiving active consideration. So when you take, for example, when you take the subject of the sentence in this sentence and you take the verb away from it, what is that? The last two words are active consideration. So therefore, we are going to talk about receiving active consideration. One word that will fit in for receiving active consideration. The matter is receiving active consideration. The matter is receiving active consideration. And I'm going to take your answers to before we move on. The matter is receiving active consideration. The matter is receiving active consideration. So I've told you how to go about it. I need you to give me an answer now if you're ready. The matter is receiving active consideration. Michael Kwachi, are you ready? Michael. Yes, Michael.
No, please. I'm not ready.
Okay. I can see also Bankole Basira. Basira, are you ready? Yes, Basira, are you ready? Yes. Okay, so I'll be going back to the slide. As I go back to the slide, I would need you to give me the answers because I need to know what you have written for me to give you my answer. Remember that you must be brief as possible. You must be brief as possible. So, okay. So if you're not ready, and then
Can you say the matter is being debated?
the matter is being debated. Fantastic. Yes, that is fine. In fact, your answer is very good. Okay, the matter is being debated. So if you see the sentence, it said it's being considered. So it means the matter is one way or the other being what? Being debated. Because the final answer hasn't come out yet. So your answer is correct. Okay. Yes, anyone else? Okay, so if no one is ready, you can also say now this is the answer I'm gonna yes, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So the matter is in contemplation.
Okay, that's fine. Because contemplation is one word, it's a noun. So that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so now take a look at my answer. The matter is being considered. As simple as that. Okay, so when you say the matter is receiving active consideration, it is in the process, right? So when I say the matter is being considered, it means they are doing something about it. They are not yet done. Okay, so that is the way you must look at how you answer questions when you want to be brief and simple. When you need to be brief and simple. That's fine. Now let's move ahead. Let's move on. Look at the first sentence up there. The first sentence. Yes, I need one of you to read that one for me. If please, anyone.
I am glad to say that the judge is of a most impartial character.
Fantastic. I like your voice. Very audible. Now, if you look at the answer below, okay, if you are asked to summarize it, look at the sentence. I am glad to say that the judge, which you cannot do away with. As for that one, you must maintain it. But the last part of the sentence is what you must change. When we say somebody is most impartial character, you must find one word for it to replace most impartial character. In fact, that is a phrase, and you can't repeat this phrase in your answer. You must find one word that would replace the word most impartial character. And that is why in my answer I said that I am glad to say that the judge is unbiased. And unbiased, would most appropriately replace the word most impartial character. So that's how you must go about your briefness and your simplicity. Please go ahead and read the second example for me. Please go ahead.
They first arrived in Ghana in 1950 and took up permanent residence here.
Okay, so there is a typo there, mistake. I said China instead of Ghana. Sorry about that. But they first arrived in Ghana in 1950 and took up permanent residence here. If you were asked to summarize this, how would you go about it? This is the answer right there. When you say they first arrived in Ghana, yes, we know they've arrived in Ghana. So the year they arrived in Ghana is what is most important when you are summarizing. Therefore, you say they arrived in Ghana. And when you say they took up permanent residence here, what does it mean? If someone has taken up a permanent residence, it means the person has come to stay in Ghana, to settle in Ghana. Okay, so you can say that they arrived in Ghana in 1950 and stayed in 1953, or they settled in 1953. So if someone has taken a permanent residence, the person has stayed, the person has settled. All those words can be used to replace and took up permanent residence in Ghana. Fantastic. Now let's move ahead. Now we're going to look at another set of examples. Precise words are preferred to vague or general words. How do you go about writing words that are precise, straight to the point, and avoiding general words or vague words? Okay, let's take our example. Number one, no week passes now without evidence of the truth of the statement that the work of government is becoming increasingly difficult. No week passes now without evidence of the truth of the statement that the work of government is becoming increasingly difficult. I'm going to give you some time for you in this case, summarize this sentence. Make sure you are using specific words and not vague words. And if you are here in this class and you're not trying your hands on answering these questions I'm asking you, you're not helping yourself. Okay? You're not helping yourself. Please, let's help ourselves. It's only when you interact with me that I will know your answers. Even if you don't see anything, just write something down. Just write something down. So that when I give you my answer, you see whether you are correct or not, or you see whether you need to improve upon the answer or not. No week passes now without evidence of the truth of the statement that the work of government is becoming increasingly difficult. Sometimes it needs you to change the whole sentence. Sometimes. But your answer must be specific to the point. It must be in a simple sentence form. Is anyone ready with his answer? If you are, you can speak up. Yes.
Sir, please. Nowadays, the work of the government is becoming difficult.
Fantastic. Your answer is very clear. Thank you for your answer. I like it. Any other person, please?
Sir,
Go ahead, doctor.
the work of the government is becoming very difficult just recently.
Okay. So, Jeff, there are some few problems with your answer, okay? Because
Okay.
of the this thing you are adding, just recently you are adding. Okay, I know you are trying to summarize nowadays, okay? But the just you are adding is making it more elaborative. It's making it like you are adding more words to it. Okay, so you hold on. When I show you my answer, you will see the mistake and then you do correct yours. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now let's move on and take a look at my answer.
Please, can I say mine?
Oh, go ahead.
Now, the work of government is becoming problematic.
Ah, that is very true. Yours is similar to the other lady's own, and that is fine. That is fine. But take a look at my answer here. Take a look at my answer. Summarized version. So when you say someone said now, okay, someone said recently, they are all accepted. So I have said every year shows how the government work becomes difficult. Every year shows how the government work becomes difficult. So you see that we have tried to remove a lot of things from it, like evidence of the truth of the statement. All those things have been removed. And we have gone straight to the point by saying that every year shows how the government work becomes difficult. Let's take another one. This is the next sentence you're looking at right now. The DAOs are likely to have a limited conceptual grasp. But before we go to that, what do you understand by this sentence? How do you understand it? Please explain to me. I want to know, because I told you earlier on that answering a summary passage, you must have an understanding of the question and then the summary passage. So please tell me the meaning of this sentence. The DAOs are likely to have a limited conceptual grasp. What does it mean? What does it mean? Basira, please, I want you to answer this question. Basira, Bankole Basira. Just tell me what you understand by this question, please, by this sentence. Okay, so let me go ahead and tell you the answer myself. When we say the DAOs, we're talking about those who are dull in class. Someone who is dull in class or in any activity. are likely to have a limited conceptual grasp, simply meaning they are likely not to understand something. You see that word here, limited. It means that they are not going to have a grasp of the concept in the classroom. Maybe I'm teaching integers, okay? They are likely not going to have the understanding of the concept integers. And if you understand the passage, then you can give me a summarized version. So now, please, what is the summarized version of this sentence?
Sir,
Yes.
the inactives are likely to have scarce understanding.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So when you say scarce understanding, that is okay, because here it represents limited conceptual grasp. That is fine. Any other person?
Sir,
Yes, go ahead.
the DAO are not likely to get concepts easily.
Okay, so you are repeating the word concept here, but in many ways they will not accept the word concept. Okay, but can you replace the word concept with another word? Try and see whether you can replace the word concept in your sentence with another word. Otherwise, your sentence would have been fine, very, very fine. Yes, any other person before he comes on board again. Yes. Okay, so look at the answer. The DAOs are unlikely to understand things easily. The DAOs are unlikely to understand things easily. That was how I explained the sentence to you earlier on. I told you that the person who is having limited conceptual grasp is having problems understanding something. So therefore, you can say the DAOs are unlikely to understand things easily. Okay? I hope you are getting to understand the things I'm teaching you now. Now let's move on quickly. Let's move on. Another example. Familiar words are preferred to far-fetched words. I told you must use familiar words that are familiar with the examiner and your colleagues. Okay? What does it mean? For example, let's take this sentence. Those maneuvers are by no means new, and their recrudescence is hardly calculated to influence the development of events. You see, there's some difficult words there, but the one that set the exams doesn't care about you not understanding the word or not. He thinks that by now you should know the meaning of these words. So you see, so sometimes they bring difficult words. They bring difficult words in the passage. But I told you, please, if you want to answer successfully a summary passage, you must take your vocabulary very, very serious. Let's read again. Those maneuvers are by no means new, and their recrudescence is hardly calculated to influence the development of the events. Let me try and explain this word, this sentence to you. When we say maneuver can be a way of moving into new things or a way of doing things. Maneuver. You are maneuvering your way into something. It means you are trying to move your way, you are trying to move into something. And the sentence says, by no means new, and their recrudescence is hardly calculated to influence the development of events. It means their nature has been done such that it will change and bring new development or bring up new issues up. Now look at the familiar words I'm talking about. We are summarizing this sentence, but by the use of familiar words. So when I am summarizing it, I will not go and use the same difficult words the examiner has given me, I will try and use words that are familiar. Okay. Now look at my answer. I said that these maneuvers are by no means. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake in writing the sentence, but are by no means the present use of. Oh, sorry, it's a mistake somewhere. I have to check and get back to you. Okay, but please give me 1 minute. Let me check from the book and then get back to you. When I was typing it, I made a mistake. So I have the book now. I'm going to open to the page and tell you the correct thing. So kindly hold on for me as I do that for you. Okay, so I have it now. So the answer should have been, the maneuvers are by no means new. The maneuvers are by no means new, and the present use of them may not be effective. So I didn't bring, I think I didn't bring something there. And no, I think, oh, that's it, right? Yes.
Correct.
It's correct, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. So these maneuvers are by no means new, and the present use of them may not be effective. Okay. So if you look at these words, they are familiar. They are familiar words that we all know. But it all depends on how you understand the sentence above. I beg you, take your time and read more. Listen to news more. Avoid the use of shorthand in your essays. It all brings about you not passing English. You can see a very good student, science student, who will get A in relative mass, A in chemistry, A in biology, and even the core. But when it comes to English alone, he scored B2. Okay, English needs time. Most of you say you don't learn English language, but that's not so. Okay, we learn English language. Okay, you can, for example, if you want to learn how to write a very good essay, you can look at how someone who is a very good writer of essays is writing his essay. You can take examples of good essays in some books. Keep reading them, and when you are writing your essay, you see that you find examples, and you'll be able to follow similar suit and write a very good example of your essay. Let's go ahead. Our second example. In all cases, sorry, this is a point. I'm telling you that in all cases, you, the candidate, you, the student listening to me right now, your judgment must be guided in your choice of words, precision and clarity, and brevity and simplicity. So in all the answers you must provide, you must consider what I'm telling you now. Your choice of words, you must go straight to the point, you must be clear, you must be simple. Okay? And I've given you examples upon examples on how you can become simple, and how you can go straight to the point, and how you can use familiar words. But all these things will show when I give you your assignment. So after this lesson, I'm going to give you a link. The host will give you a link. The link will lead you to the assignment. When you do it and you submit it, that will really show whether indeed you have practiced what I've taught you or not. Let's move ahead. Now let's look at the answers. Those of you who answered the assignment I gave you earlier on. Okay? Let's look at the answers you provided to the question. So above is the question. Before, you see summary. Summary is the answers they gave me. There were only 3 students who answered the question. The first question I asked was that in 3 sentences, 1 for each, state the disadvantages of advertisement to buyers. Because the passage was about advertisement. So I said, in 3 sentences, one for each. State the disadvantages of advertisement to buyers. You see 3 different sentences made up of numbers. That is the answer they gave me, okay? After this one, I will give you my proposed answer. So any one of you who has done it, I don't have your names. I didn't take the names. So please don't take offense if your answer is here. Unless no one knows that this is your answer, but you know yourself. So after this, you can go and correct yourself. Look at the first one. They said advertisement misinform rather than inform. 2, advertisement can make you buy things you don't want to buy. 3, increase of price of a product. This is the answer of a student. Another one said advertisements sometimes make buyers buy things they do not want to. So you see, you, the student, the question says your answers must be one for each. Why is it that when you are writing your second sentence, you didn't number it? Okay, please take your time, have time, and answer the questions properly. So this was supposed to be the second answer. He said also sometimes because of the competition between the manufacturer, they tend to over-exaggerate in the advertisements of a product, hence misinform buyers. So you see, you have given me too much word. There's too much words here. You could have just said competition misinform buyers. That's all. And number 3, he said that advertisement makes manufacturers tend to increase the amount of product since they spend a lot of money advertising. Yes, here too, you're having too much words. You could have said advertisement makes manufacturers increase the amount of product. Okay, let's move on. This was the answer to the second question. He said, in 3 sentences, one for each, summarize the benefit of advertisement. So there are 3 of them here, and all of them have tried. Number 1 said it makes a product popular. 2, it helps to better society. 3, advertisement helps to find product we are looking for. That's fine. Now let's come to the last one. It says advertisement help with greater prestige comfort. 2, advertisement help the buyers to enjoy the existed of the product. You see, what you wrote here is not even very clear. Okay, number 3, he said advertisement make a possibility for improvement in producing good products. Okay. Now let's look at my proposed answers. And some of you might have the answers close to mine, which is correct. Now look at the correct answers. A, you could have said advertisement misinform consumers. Very short. 2, advertisement may make buyers buy goods they do not need. Very short. Straight to the point. 3, prices of goods may rise. Okay, so these are very, very short. I've given you very, very short answers. Now, when you look down there too, there are other answers I've given you. Some of you, your answers are in this line. Now, the first 3 answers are very correct. The next answers you see there may be correct, but you may not score full marks if you write it this way. You may not score full marks if you write it this way. For example, when you say it misinforms consumers, what misinforms consumers? What is that? So it's not clear. It's not specific. You can say it misinforms consumers, or VI, advertisement make buyers buy goods they do not need. VII. Prices of goods will rise. VIII. Advertisement misinform rather than inform. Let's look at the commentary. The commentary for these answers. In A, the first three answers are correct. However, the next two answers, that is IV and VIN, although not completely wrong, do not score full marks. In IV, for instance, the use of the pronoun it does not correspond to the noun advertisement, which is plural. When you say it, the it here is not corresponding with the word advertisements, because the word advertisement is plural. So when you say it, you see it's not working for it. This is a clear demonstration of grammatical inconsistency on the part of the candidate. The candidate will certainly lose some marks from the total marks of score, which is 5. Okay. Similarly, the answer in vain, the candidate will lose more marks. Why? This is because the answer, although contains the idea required by the examiner, is not in a simple sentence form. Besides, the verb misinforms, as used, has no subject. In addition, it does not agree with the subject, comma, advertisement, which is plural. Let's look at the answer in VI. The answer in VI and VII are completely wrong. May is more appropriate in both cases. As for answer in VII and I, it is straightforward wrong. The answer is lifted verbatim from the passage. Answers which are lifted verbatim are always wrong. So candidates are entreated to avoid lifting verbatim. Look at the last one. The last one. He said advertisement misinform rather than inform. Okay? That answer is completely wrong. It's lifting. It means you took the answer from the passage and then wrote the same thing. No one will mind you when you do such a thing. Lastly, this is our last thing we want to look at for today before we go. This is my answer to the question in 3 sentences. One for each. Summarize the benefits of advertisement. So number 1, I said advertisements provide information. 2, consumers have a choice. 3, advertisements make competition keener. 4, advertisements proved useful information. 5, advertisements create competition. Let's look at the commentary. In the answer, the first 3 answers I, and I are acceptable. But answer Ivan will lose 1 mark because of the adjective useful. Look at it, Ivan. When you say advertisement prove useful information. Now, why would the use of useful here make it wrong? Let's go back and look at it. One feels that useful is just additional information given. Have you seen that? So when you say useful, you should have just said advertisement proof, or it gives information. That's it. Okay? It gives information. But when you say it's proved useful information, the word useful here is an adjective qualifying the word information. Remember, we said don't use adverbs or adjective. Okay? And the last one, we said whether useful or not is immaterial. Okay? As used in the answer, only emphasizes information. Remember, we have already said that emphatic adverbs do not matter in summary. So are some adjectives too. So please try and avoid the use of adjectives and adverbs. Right? Fantastic. So this should bring us to our end of lesson today. I hope that you have understood everything I've taught you The slide will be available. So I'll send it to the host, and you can contact him for the slide, and you can go through it. And after this session, I'm going to give you an assignment. Please try and do it and submit it. I would require you to put in your name. So, and it is compulsory. If you don't put your name, you can't answer the question. So please put in your name before you answer the passage. I hope you have understood the lesson. I endeavor you to do and submit the work. Okay. Until then, until I meet you next week, I'll say goodbye to you.